Hi everyone. So I have a bit of an update with my work that I do as a spiritual professional. So, last time I talked about the war, World War III. So I did a bit more research on that, and I watched a bit of videos explaining the math and the calculations of the United States military versus any of the other militaries in the world. And by numbers, we have the stronger military in the United States, meaning that if I were to do protection rituals on us, that means that we have the best likelihood of actually succeeding over any other country. And of course, don't get me wrong. I don't like the idea of war. I don't want to harm other people. Of course, I'm going about this in a more defensive way. So, if you were to make any investment, okay, listen, let me explain this. It's a world war, meaning that all the countries will eventually get pulled into a world war. So, what that means is that if the United States gets striked by a military attack, where would we really go? If we needed to evacuate the United States, where would you go? Because South America wants to fight us, and we had recent news that Canada also wants to fight us as well. So I don't think any of those options are really good. I'm not entirely sure how evacuating would work out in that way. If we're hostile with other countries, how are we going to evacuate to them? Because I don't think, if you think about it, I don't think that any Ukrainians with the Russia and Ukraine war, the Ukrainians did not evacuate to Russia. I don't think they would have let them in. So, I mean, I guess I could research that a little bit more to see exactly where they went. But if you wanted to say, for example, if you wanted to invest in a stock without losing all of your money, you would pick the best stock, right? That's actually profitable. So, in a world war where all the countries eventually get pulled into this, what is the best stock that you need to invest in? And considering our research with the United States military versus any of the other militaries, the United States would probably be the best investment that you could make. If you wanted to support or fight for any country, the United States would be the safest option, especially for people who live here. I think you have the best safety here. Now, I'm not entirely sure how evacuation works in that way with hostile countries, and there's basically not very many places you could go or maybe even afford, because affordability and like travel expenses and food and housing, you know, I think that we have limited options here. We really do have limited options. So, yeah. Um, Today will be the first day of me just asking for protection from higher dimensional beings. Of course, I have a rotation of 3 rituals a week where I give offerings. Because, okay, listen, prayer is good, but offerings, when you offer a higher dimensional being like crystals, if you offer them herbs and things like that, it gives them a little bit more power to work with. So it's one thing to just call on higher dimensional beings, but you don't give them any food to function. Like, it's like a car without gasoline. You need to put gasoline in the car to make it run. So, of course, offerings are very important right now. So, yeah, I went to the spiritual shop to go grab some supplies for my ritual. And, of course, the intention is, can you please protect the innocent people of the United States? Can you please protect us? And so at this spiritual shop, they have a bowl of random cards with random messages on them. And so if you give them $1 to do a message, to pick a random message, yeah, you can go into the bowl and pick a random card. They're all turned upside down. So you don't know what any of the cards actually say. They're all placed, with the back of the card. So you don't know anything. And so this is the card that I got today. I flipped it around and it said protection. It said protection. So meaning, yeah, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. And actually the meaning of this card, the full meaning of this card was in a book. So the ladies at the spiritual shop had a book with extended meanings of the card. So she flipped to the protection page and said, if you pull this card, it means you are fiercely protective of what you call yours. So yeah, that was basically the whole idea of the whole reason why I even walked into that shop is to protect what I call mine. It also means you are being called to stand up for those who need you. And make sure that you understand that you need to protect yourself. And you have determination, and that you are very clear that you are aware of what is happening. So yes, I'm very aware, I'm very clear on exactly what is going on. Stand up for those who need your help. And you have a devotion to your environment. So yeah, it's very specific in that way. Like, this is your home, this is your environment, and you're going to stand up to protect it. And, like I said, if we're going to invest in any country in World War III, which is completely out of anyone's control, it's not ideal. But, if you're going to invest in a stock, you might as well not, you might as well invest in a stock that will protect your money and gain you money rather than lose all of your money, right? Of course, it's not what everybody wants, but I feel like this is more of a reality of what we all have to live in. Battles don't need to be engaged just yet. Your standing guard will be enough. Okay, so basically what my strategy is more defensive rather than aggressive. So basically what I can do is I can protect myself and my own community and the people of my own country. that's the best of that I got. Right now, there's only so much energy work and magic that I can do by myself. There's only so many options that I have. I'm only one person. Listen, I am only one little person, and there's only so much I could do. So, yeah. We'll get started on those rituals today. And I do believe that the United States is in really, really good shape. We have a very, very high likelihood of actually being successful. No matter what happens, even if something bad happens, the United States will most likely come out on top. Like, we will be victorious. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, I hope that was insightful. I hope that was comforting to anyone, especially in this country, wondering what's going to happen next. Odds are that the United States side is probably going to be pretty safe. We might actually be pretty safe in this country. So, good luck, everyone. And in the future, I will be sure to post more videos on how to properly execute rituals. I'll be trying to train as many people as I can properly to protect their energy and make sure that they're safe, make sure that they're healthy, and make sure that they have the best possible outcome of any government conflicts, because, of course, we don't really control what the government does. All we can do is try our best to keep us and our families safe as possible. So, yeah. I will have more videos posted later on how to do rituals and how to do them correctly, and how to make sure that your energy is just as powerful as mine, since I've been training for so long. The thing that frustrates me a little bit is, listen, I've been trying to use my channel to train people with their energy work for a really long time, but, you know, not everybody accepts good information. I was really hoping I could get a lot more people to start training like 2 or 3 years ago. Like I did, like 4 years ago. I was training immediately. Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. My best advice right now is everybody should eat clean and try to get some exercise. And try to maybe have like an emergency kit or something. Or like a backpack. So if any reason you need to get out of your city or anything, you should have something prepared for that. So, yeah, that's the thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit. I was trying to train people a long time ago on how to, like, protect themselves and use good energy work. See, here's the thing. Humans, after a long explanation, after a long academic class, to summarize that, humans are supposed to manipulate energy. The higher dimensions, source energy, aka God, they want you to manipulate your energy. They want you to do that. You're supposed to be manipulating energy. And that's why this country has the best chances of survival, because on social media I see so many spiritual people. Well, I feel like we have enough people who've been training for a long time. See, have the best probability. We have the most people who have been training for a long time. Even if there's like a good bit of people still who haven't trained like us. Yeah, I understand there's like a good group of people who don't do any spiritual work at all and feel like they don't need to, or they don't want to, or they don't believe all this. Even if we do have those people, we still have the better chances. But I'm rambling at this point. I will be back with more information later. And stay safe.